Hey! Welcome aboard.
Yes.
It's after drill. Drew's back. We missed him desperately yesterday, and thankfully Drew's back. Hi, I'm Beef.
I'm Drew.
He's Drew. Is there anything going on right now, Drew? I'm not a big GQ reader, so apparently there's a GQ article now, an interview with Jalen Ramsey that's setting the internet ablaze right now. It's Ramsey never wanted to not have an opinion. And he has many opinions about many people, and he shares them all.
He is bold. He is
GQ.
a bold dude, man.
He's a bold dude, man, and it rubs some people the wrong way, and I understand that. But this is who Jalen is, and this is part of being, an elite corner in this league. Not just elite amongst your peers, but elite all time. Those guys, by and large, are insanely confident dudes. A lot of swag, a lot of talk, a lot of braggadocio.
Well, I was talking to actually my dad about this, and he brought up a really good point about when Tony Boselli was here, and basically the aura and what was expected of Tony Boselli got to such a point that if he didn't play perfect every week, it was a story.
It was a story,
and that's what's going to happen now if Jalen slips and falls and someone scores or anything like that. He gets burned one time. I mean, it's going to be a story. I mean, that's what he's now built himself up to. And I hope he can handle it because, I mean, let's face it.
Right, well, look, I mean, not any different than any other megastar player.
Sure.
When you're this level of player, when you're a top 10 guy, league-wide, a top 1 or 2 guy at your position, then the scrutiny just gets larger. The magnifying glass is stronger. You're expected to play great every week, and if you have a bad game, they're going to look at you, and you bring that on yourself too when you're as vocal a guy as Jalen, and I think he welcomes that.
Right.
He welcomes that scrutiny. He welcomes those eyes.
Do you wonder though, as more of this stuff continues to go on? Obviously, Jalen is really good at getting in people's heads and all that stuff, but is Jalen? Can people get in Jalen's head? I think that's what you have to start asking. The question you have to start asking is he susceptible to that and maybe, overreacting at times? Because, I mean, the bottom line is he's just a very bold, emotional dude. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it kind of seems like maybe you can knock him off kilter here a little bit.
No, he wears it on his sleeve. Yeah. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He has not shown yet that other people's criticisms will rattle him, at least as far as his on-field production is concerned. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Of course, yesterday was the great Jalen Ramsey Twitter purge, as Jalen blocked any and all media members who are of consequence. Thankfully, lowly media members like myself and other members of the team did not get blocked. But, and also using his galaxy brain, Jeff Prosser, once again, champion of life.
Wow.
You can't get blocked on Twitter
if you're not
on Twitter.
Nice.
But Dan was blocked. Brent was blocked. Everybody got blocked by Jalen Ramsey yesterday. He was cleaning house, and he was following his threat, carrying it through. Doug Marrone said yesterday that the suspension of Ramsey and Dante Fowler will carry through the weekend. They'll be back to work Monday. So, it's a full 1 week suspension. So, as anticipated, they'll miss the joint practices with the Vikings that start later today and the preseason game Saturday afternoon up in Minnesota.
Is anybody more pissed now that this GQ article has come out and all this, that Ramsey won't be in camp than the Vikings writers? The Vikings writers are probably just like, how are we not getting this guy
they got hosed a little bit
for a week?
They got hosed a little bit. The guy up there for the Minneapolis Star Tribune is like, come on, man.
You're killing me.
I got one chance to get a quote out of this dude and try and be the first to get it out, and I'm shut down. We'll be happy to hear from Jalen when he gets back. I'm sure he'll have lots to say, or maybe he won't. It depends on how the wind blows and how Jalen's feeling about
that will be interesting to see
when he returns. My hope is that they make him and Dante Fowler available to the media on Monday when they return. Maybe they don't. They like to keep these things kind of.
I don't think Dante will be holding back either, by the way. So that
Dante had to delete a couple tweets as he may have been tweeting through it, as the kids like to say.
Yeah, man.
And
because him and the good man Jesus have a lot in common.
Very similar guys. I remember, I'm not sure which book of the Bible it was that Jesus beat up an old man with carrying a bag of groceries, but very similar dudes
Yeah.
on a lot of counts.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. So, we're excited for the joint practices. We're excited for preseason game number 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big test for this team, and Doug Marrone said as much. He said that, these joint practices, because of certain limitations on reps, it doesn't quite carry the same weight as the game, but it still carries a lot of weight, especially when you're being able to measure yourself against one of the elite teams in the league. And, the Vikings have just as much claim to elite status as the Jaguars do. They're an elite defense. They've upgraded significantly at quarterback. Dalvin Cook is back and running as good as ever. The receiver core is good. The offensive line, pretty good there. That defense, all about it. So, it's the Vikings are a real good team. So
they upgraded at a couple key positions, and they also, locked up some other guys long term. So I think
it's a big test, man.
Yeah.
It'll be a big test for the Big Cats. Saturday up there. Saturday. I still can't get used to the Saturday 1 o'clock kick for this preseason game. It's weird. But I'll enjoy having my Sunday free. That'll be nice. But yeah. Also today on the drill, it was Wednesday, which means we had Get Smart John, and almost again just short of the perfect game. Like one question short of the perfect game again today. It was so close. But we learned something as well today on the drill, as during the Tap 5 a day, we had the viral video of the person discovering that the crank action hand can openers that everybody's been using them the wrong way. The proper way to use them is not with the blade vertical, but you're supposed to do it with the blade horizontal.
Okay.
And that way the blade hangs onto the lid, and you're able to lift the lid with the opener.
Well, that's interesting.
Now, for most of us who've had anything in their house that's even reasonably technological in the last 30 plus years, having a handheld can opener seems like the Stone Age, as most of us have the electric can opener that you push a little button and it does this thing on its own. But we learned today that Lauren Brooks apparently feels like electric can openers are bougie in some way, and is 100% pro team hand can opener.
Not really sure where she got that idea.
I don't know.
From.
I mean, I'm.
She's fighting. She's fighting the new age. I feel it. Fight the power.
I may be painting her a little bit in a negative light compared to her comments, but that's the implication I got. There was a certain pushback to myself and Dan as users of electric can openers, as though somehow we were bougie for using
less of men.
Less of men.
Okay.
And somehow, somehow hoity-toity for using the electric can opener, which is weird. You would think, electric can openers, doorbells, electric lights, indoor plumbing. These are things people have in their house. It's a pretty standard issue at this point. I'm not sure. I don't know a lot of people that don't have a can opener sitting on the counter, and when they have to open a can, they rig it up to the can opener and push the little thing down.
This is all just a big,
It's a big revelation.
Yeah.
It says a lot about Brooks.
It does.
It sort of it fits with this whole beach bum persona that she sort of has about her. We still love LB, but it was weird. It was weird.
It's fine.
It threw us for a loop. But yeah, it's we're looking forward to another busy Thursday. On the drill, of course, Kevin Murphy will be in, so we'll go inside the injury report and get you ready for the football weekend. Of course, there will be NFL preseason action Thursday. Not the Jaguars, but there will be preseason games to get ready for, to get geared up for. I don't know if you saw Hard Knocks last night, Drew, but
I actually did not get to
see
it.
It was a couple interesting. It really focused heavy on the receiver core, and two guys in particular. The early part of the show focused real hard on Corey Coleman.
Okay, because he was traded.
Was with the Browns. And everybody thought when the trade came down and he was sent to Buffalo for a 7th-round pick, there was like, boy, that seems like a weird thing. He was a productive player when he was on the field. And, it's weird that they just gave up on him being a first-round pick. And you see why in Hard Knocks last night is he's getting a lot of grief from Todd Haley and from Hugh Jackson for being not exactly sharp in camp, and he went right into Hugh Jackson's office and said, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically said, why am I running with the twos? Said, if you don't want to play me, then you should just trade me.
Sure.
And so, out you go.
There you go.
Look, man, it's hard to crack the starting lineup in Cleveland at the receiver core. That's one place that they've got a good group of dudes. So
sure.
yeah,
And then now they got Des Bryant coming in tomorrow for a little meeting.
Coming in for a visit, so we'll see. And a lot of the episode focused on Antonio Callaway because this week of Hard Knocks centered around his traffic incident on Sunday and then the subsequent punishment in game.
Sounds like it's an interesting episode.
It was an interesting episode.
Better than the first one?
It was better than the first one.
Okay.
And yeah, Antonio, they got on him about not being forthright about the traffic stop.
No way. Antonio Callaway?
Yeah.
Huh.
Weird.
Right.
Yeah, they were not happy about it.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes going forward. It was interesting. It was a good episode.
Good.
I would not want to play for Todd Haley as my position coach or coordinator. He's does not seem like a fun guy to play for. Neither does Greg Williams, who's doing their defense. It seems like a group of guys I would not want to play for. Does not seem like a fun situation.
Greg basically said too in the first episode, I turned down 8 jobs to come be. Yeah, sure you did, Greg.
Sure you did, Greg. That's usually why you wound up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You had other offers, but this was the one that you were
This where you wanted to be, right?
Too good to pass up.
No, I bet, bud.
Gotta go to the Browns.
I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that's we'll look forward to keeping watching Hard Knocks. I'd love to see the Jags on Hard Knocks. I think it'd be great. But
or as Hayes just tweeted, maybe instead of focusing on a team, just focus on Jalen Ramsey.
Let's just do Inside Jalen Ramsey.
Let's
do HBO. Whoever. Hey, Bill Simmons. Let's do a Jalen show.
Let's do a Jalen
show. He's
show.
going to be up for it. If you ask, he'll be up for it.
Yeah.
All pub is good pub for JR. But we love JR.
We love him.
I love JR. Yeah. So hopefully this all kind of blows over with JR.
It will.
And it's funny. Everybody's focusing on JR, and it's and because he's the big name and he's the big boy, but really, Dante's the issue.
Yeah.
Dante's the problem. Dante was in camp for 2 days, getting in fights, and now he's suspended and he's tweeting out insane nonsense, and it's just the guy seems like he's a little unhinged, and maybe fighting for his job and knowing he's in a walk year. Maybe
he
it's getting
feels
to
the
him.
pressure. Yeah,
maybe it's getting to him a little bit. I don't know. A lot of people were asking about should the Jags try to trade Dante. I still feel like there's not a lot out there you can get for Dante Fowler that's better than having Dante Fowler on your team.
Yeah, I think the Jags need him. Even from just a depth standpoint of pass rushers, I think he's very important to have.
Greg Williams hanging out with Gary Busey at Shoney's at 3 a.m.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I think, honestly, if I was given the option of hanging out with Greg Williams or Busey at Shoney's at 3 a.m., I'm going Busey 10 times out of 10.
I think it'd be a more interesting night.
Yeah. I mean, someone on Twitter threw out a trade proposal, and I feel like this is just throwing stuff up against the wall to see if it sticks. It was Dante and a first-round pick to Oakland for Khalil Mack. I mean, Khalil Mack is not getting traded, guys. Don't waste your mental energy on pie-in-the-sky Khalil Mack scenarios.
And look, that would be cool and all, but then you have to keep in mind you're losing. You bring in Khalil Mack, who obviously is a great
megastar.
Great player. You're losing, one of your big guys on defense because you can't pay everyone.
You can't pay everyone.
So
someone's gonna have to go. If you're gonna pay Khalil Mack, somebody else is gonna have to.
Right.
Gonna have to go out the door. It's a cap.
And it might be more than one because you're gonna have to pay Khalil a lot, and you're gonna have to pay Jalen Ramsey a ton of money here in the next year or two.
Yeah, in the next year or two, Jalen Ramsey's gonna be looking for big cash, big cheese. I mean, you're probably talking,
he's gonna be the highest paid.
17, 18 a year.
He's gonna be the highest paid.
Big money for JR, and he's worth it.
Yeah.
He's the best player on your team. He's the best cornerback.
And it shouldn't even be a thought in your mind to let him walk. He should never leave.
He should never hit the market.
Ever.
There should never be a consideration. I don't care what he says. I don't care how many media members he blocks. I don't care how many guys he threatens on the practice field.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Pay the man. Never leave.
Never leave.
Long live the king. On that note, we'll bid you a fond adieu. And until tomorrow with another edition of After Drill. Love you, Googans.